Good morning, everybody. We're back in the studio, and I'm excited. I've got Tameka in, and Tameka, last time you were here was about a year ago.
Yeah.
We were just recently talking, so we're not going to talk brick and mortar today. We're going to talk mobile, and there's a different shift in what you're doing now.
Yes.
So explain to me, in layman's terms, what you do and how you benefit the folks.
Awesome. So, well, first off, thank you so much for having me.
Man, of
This
course.
is an amazing opportunity, as always, to connect with you.
I appreciate it.
Yes, I am a full spectrum doula. So, a doula is essentially someone who goes in and we support throughout the pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and parenting journey.
Okay.
So we go in and we make sure moms and families, partners, dads, we make sure you actually have continuous support throughout those prenatal visits. We actually go in throughout the birth to make sure that you have someone who can actually be there by your side. There's a shift that's happening, as you said.
Yeah.
There's a shift because there are shifts within the RNs, there's shifts within the OBs, and we are there to go with the mom, the dad throughout appointments, throughout that labor, and then also throughout postpartum.
Yeah.
Because right after they've had the baby, who's there to check on mom?
Right.
Right. And right now, we as a community, we used to have grandma and grandpa
for sure.
and the village and the families,
Yeah.
right, that would come in and make
Yeah.
sure mom's good. Well, unfortunately, we have had a sever of those communities, right? And we don't have that support for mothers. So doulas, we really hold space holistically.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a needed position and a support system for young mothers. How often, and when you're talking about it, I'm thinking, so is the ratio of first-time mothers to second-time, third-time mothers, what is that ratio?
So the ratio really depends. What I will share with you, my experience, is that there are a lot of first-time moms who are looking now for a holistic approach, right? I will share with you just the statistics in South Carolina. South Carolina is the 8th in the nation when it comes to maternal mortality rates, right? And so that is an alarming rate that's out there for moms who are looking for resources for additional support, because when they go into those obstetric offices, right? They're only getting about that 15, 20-minute checkup, and they're getting those doctor's appointments. But there are other questions, like emotional questions that they may have, right?
Yeah, of course.
Those hormonal changes that are happening, we all know as moms, things happen, our energy shifts, right? So as a doula, we are really encompassing knowing that it's a holistic approach that we must look at. We can't just go in and say, hey, these are your labs, these are your checkups, I'll see you next week, I'll see you next month, right?
Yeah.
But what's happening in between that? So it's really a time where we are now coming to the forefront of saying, hey, moms need help, dads need help, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a time where I will say we're going back into, I will call it the grand midwife era.
Yeah, I like that. Do you help with the siblings? So say first-time siblings or second-time siblings?
We actually do. So it's interesting that you asked that question. We just had a beautiful display of just that on Tuesday at St. Helena Library. We have it's a postpartum and parenting support group. We call it a postpartum parenting support circle, right? Once again, bringing it back into the wholeness of it. And so we actually had siblings because school was out on Tuesday, right?
For sure.
So school was out, and so the children brought their siblings in. And so we have a doula cohort that actually is there inside of the library that holds space for postpartum, for the mothers and the fathers. They have their space where they do journaling and all of that. But the siblings actually got to sit on the carpet, get to sing, get to draw. We went on a nature walk. We actually went over and saw the senior citizens at the center, because our theme was gratitude and giving thanks. Right. So this is really a family wellness approach, bringing it back to where moms feel supported, dads feel supported, the children feel supported. Right.
It's huge because there's a huge shift in that family dynamic, especially from a sibling standpoint, and even your spouse, your partner, because now even if it's a first-time child, they're not as important, and then you have to realize, and then you got to learn to love this child and take care of your spouse.
Right.
It's huge. So how do folks? Where do they go to learn about what you're doing, and how do they reach out?
Well, I have a beautiful connection here in the Lowcountry because I am a native here in beautiful Beaufort, South Carolina. So you can see me along the lines of if you are ready to join a postpartum group, we have a postpartum support group on Tuesdays at the library, right? But if you are looking for additional consultations, if you need your one-on-one time, if you actually are looking for a doula to support you through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum, right, you can go to www.energyevolutionsc.com. That's once again www.energyevolutionsc.com, or just give us a call. We have a collective of doulas. It's not just myself anymore, right? Sure. Because I really have a staff of doulas. I won't even call them a staff. We're a collective because each one of us, we work cohesively in our community, right? We serve different communities, but we serve our community as a whole. So when you call the number, it's not just myself. We have other doulas who are ready to assist throughout birth, throughout postpartum, and then parenting. So that number is 843-233-9552, and that will get you to our doula collective to have some additional support.
Okay. How soon in their pregnancy can they reach out? Day one?
Day one, really. We have moms who will call immediately as they see on the stick, right? They're holding the stick. It's like, Tameka, look, it's time. Because we also support throughout the conception as full spectrum doulas, right? We aren't there just for the birth, the postpartum. We are literally there because some moms they are really processing maybe a miscarriage, right? They may have had other things that have taken place prior to the conception of the baby, or either just needing that additional support just to clear some mental blocks, right? So they can conceive. So we're there from conception throughout the pregnancy, and then it's really like we become part of the family. I get that, because my mind immediately went to, like, say, a new mother, say military spouse family comes into town, and then there's a new mother, and then so she's new to the area, new to being a mom, doesn't necessarily have any friends around, so they definitely need a support system to deal with that. And that was really what led me into this, Sean. Thank you for sharing that. Just because I was a military mom, right? My first child was a military birth in Germany, and there was no support, right? I literally was in labor for 3 days. Which resulted into a C-section, right? And so the alarming thing is most moms, they cringe at like, oh my gosh, I have to have a C-section. For sure. Especially if you're a mom who's holistically done everything you can, right? But that additional support, maybe just to say, breathe a little bit deeper into the belly, right? Taking a moment to just shift into different positions. If I had that additional support, what would my birth look like? Right? So I have a different passion for this because I've had a cesarean, right? And then I waited 10 years and I had a home birth, right? So there was a difference because my home birth, I had a midwife, I had a doula, right? We had the supportive, compassionate setting to where I was able to listen to my body. I had full autonomy over my body, right? If I felt like I needed to move, I could move. If I said I needed a sip of water, there was someone to give me a sip of water.
You don't need a stressful environment when you're trying to give birth. And
It's such a sacred moment. So this is really the time where doulas are bringing it back into the sacred wholeness of what it really means to bring forth not only just the baby, but you're helping a mom rebirth herself as well.
I get that. I mean, it brings so much light to me because obviously as a male, I understand what it takes, but I don't understand at the same time what it takes, especially emotionally and physically, the steps that the body goes through to create this living being, and then to make sure you've got a support system is huge.
Exactly. And also, let me touch on this. You as a dad, right, as partners, you are so vital in the process. And far too often we get so on the mother, right? But I will stay in this moment just for a moment to say thank you. Because those are the first partners, really, when a mom is giving birth, she's looking to you for that support.
For sure.
Right? So doulas, actually, we hold space for the partners. We help you understand, like, if she says, oh, my back, right? Hold there. We help with different comfort measures. Also, emotionally, how to hold space for her, right? There may be times where he feels like, we've seen fathers, like, standing in the corner, helpless. Like, what do I do? But a doula in the room, she can gently just touch his back transferal of energy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we talk about it in our classes where we talk about the essence of a doula's presence. And essentially, that is where we get to transfer that energy in the room with the nurse, with the dads, with the siblings, with the hospital staff. It's just an amazing ability to really hold space in that sacred moment. But dads need that support.
Oh, no, 100%. Yeah, it's insane. Now, you definitely opened my eyes up a little bit more. So anything else you want to touch on about the business that you think folks would want to know about?
Well, I will share with you, this is a time where I'm going to open up our next cohort. So I am a doula trainer because it's one of the things where, once again, we need more moms, we need more dads to feel that support, that love, and that nurturing, continuous care throughout conception all the way through parenting, right? So the initiative is to really create a workforce of doulas here in Beaufort County. We are now wanting to make sure we train more doulas if they are in a background of a CNA, right? Because they have that medical background. And then also early childhood caregivers, because they also are in the spaces where a lot of moms are in postpartum, right? For sure. They also are dealing with siblings who moms may just be, right, just conceived. So those are our demographics right now, but we are open to our next cohort starting in January, where we will have a 6-week doula training.
Excellent.
Right? So it's a 6-week online training, and then they come in for a weekend where they receive hands-on training, energy training, which is Reiki as well. And they also get to have that business aspect because running a doula business is real.
Oh, yeah,
right?
100%, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, we have the doula training coming up, and then I'm also open for the 2025 calendar for birth, postpartum, and parenting doula. So if you are looking for a doula, a full spectrum doula, if you are looking for doula training, feel free to reach out to Energy Evolution. Once again, www.energyevolutionsc.com, or call us at 843-233-9552.
Perfect. Tameka, I appreciate you coming in. Very enlightening, very important service that you're offering to entire families. And I'm sure there are a lot of satisfied customers, parents, and now family.
They are family. They've coined me as Big Mama Mika. So I think I'm a part of the family now.
Well, Big Mama Mika, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.